Hello everyone, I'm Maria Petrashko, news agency.
Sanctions hit unexpectedly.
Нехватка лекарств в Латвии. Что делать? Латвия ищет способы борьбы с нехваткой лекарств.
It'd be fine if there weren't enough seasonal meds, but there's also a shortage of vital ones. Riga, of course, becomes calm. Guys, the EU will save us. There is a system of solidarity, and those with plenty of medicine give it to those in need. But as usual in EU, something went awry.
Not like that. The solidarity mechanism for the distribution of medicines declared by the European Union will not work if there is a shortage of medicines for everyone. The problems of drug shortages are much deeper and begin already in the production process, say in the association representing the interests of wholesale drug dealers.
If only there was sufficient amid a powerful energy crisis. If particularly in the Baltic States, it's the epitome of political short-sightedness. One price growth is nearly 8% its value. The total GDP of the Baltics declined by the end of 2023, with no expected decrease in inflation. The cost of severing ties with Belarus and Russia was extremely high. Logistics failures, gas supply failures, renting metals, food, and fuel pellets led to the high cost. Also, Riga stopped buying electricity from Belarus, but consumption, especially by businesses, remained unchanged.
Furniture firms making pellets for heating are shutting down in the Baltic countries. The forest seems to have its own, but costly furniture is made from its own forest, which is sold, including in the West, and blanks for the same IKEA. The situation does not look 100% deadly for the national economy in each direction, but as a whole, it is certainly a catastrophe. Only it will be stretched.
The same medicines have become less because most of them come from Asia, and who in recent years has done everything to disrupt traditional logistics chains? Let's not point fingers. By the way, if you look at all the Baltic Emirates, the same Vilnius quarreled with China, and now the Klaipeda port is empty without transshipment of Belarusian goods and without transit of the new Shvalkov path. Regardless of Lithuanian efforts to retract, China promptly and effortlessly responded in its own defense. Beijing has completely stopped buying Lithuanian beer, dairy products, beef, and everything else. Freight and railway transportation to Lithuania has been suspended. The credit limit for Lithuanian companies in the Chinese market has been reduced. The cost of Lithuanian courtesy to Washington is extremely huge. China imported merchandise from Lithuania for just $60,000, which is a decrease of 99.8% compared to January 2021. And answer, my dear viewers, the logical question. Was it worth arguing with a major trading partner and running to spite him to cooperate with a less stable Taiwan? No investments from Taiwan, nothing remaining from China.
From Taiwan, more was expected, as the Taiwanese promised significant investments in Lithuania during their representation, but they have not been notably visible thus far.
Promising doesn't mean fulfilling, and the authorities of the Baltic countries know this well. The fourth example is the Minister of Agriculture of Latvia, Armāns Krause. In the best traditions of dictatorship, the importers of Latvia were threatened to refuse to purchase Belarusian Russian food products, forgetting that the economy of the Republic of Latvia directly depends on cooperation with us. And what in reality? Approximately 90,000 tons of vegetables and over 70,000 grain products are imported from Belarus and Russia. According to the data of the Latvian Border and Food and Veterinary Service, during the period from August to October, 68 Belarusian and Russian food products were imported by enterprises. Shouting from high tribunes and threatening us with sanctions is one thing. In reality, there is no one to deal with the problems after these sanctions in healthcare, trade, science, and in all areas.
Suppose the Minister of Health of Latvia, and in practically any cabinet of ministers of the last 5 or 10 years, no one desires to take up this essentially execution position, as it carries immense responsibility and challenges that many are reluctant to shoulder. Because you need to work at that place, due to the existence of systemic problems in the industry. The same applies to the Ministry of Education and Science as it does to other departments and organizations. Oh, and? Positions that are not breadwinning, where stealing is not possible, and where it is challenging to speak rapidly or communicate quickly. Some nonsense about the Russian threat and then move on to a higher level.
This occurs when nations are not led by politicians but by the servants of a foreign government. If the country, whether Lithuania or Latvia, cuts the branch it sits on, arguing with all partners for Western curators, then the economy suffers first and foremost, as well as social welfare, meaning ordinary citizens suffer. Don't dig a hole for your Belarusian neighbors, you'll fall into it.